All right, everyone. A lot of people wanted me to talk about this specific issue. This is sort of the thing people have been messaging me about for the last 72 hours, especially, and that's the effort to keep Trump off the 2020 ballot in a bunch of states. It starts in California and spreads elsewhere, where a bunch of states, some of which defeated bills on this issue, and the ones that accepted it are almost all like heavily blue. So it's grandstanding, it's posturing. They started an effort to prevent Trump from appearing on the ballot in the 2020 election if he doesn't release his tax returns. Now, the problem is, of course, the states lack any constitutional authority whatsoever to do this. If the federal government were to step in and enforce some arcane law with regards to tax information, that would be one thing, but the states can't unilaterally decree that the Federal Elections Commission is not going to allow him on the ballot. The states don't have the proper authority. You see, states do not themselves handle every aspect of our elections. It's overseen at the federal level. It's governed by the federal Constitution. There is no litmus test in the federal Constitution that a president running for re-election or that anyone running for office has to release that particular information. The reason why, what happened is that over time, presidents going back I can't remember the first president to do this. Presidents for modern history, anyway, have traditionally released their tax information. Trump has released a write-up of some of his more recent taxes, which is less than most recent presidents have, but there's no rule saying that they have to. And so the fact is, here's the screwy situation with Trump's taxes. It was basically a hit at Trump during the 2016 election. Well, he's a tax cheat. They never had any evidence for why they should proclaim this, but they thought, well, he's a tax cheat, or he's not as wealthy as he thought, whatever. And he proved them wrong with the write-ups that he did actually put out, more or less, at least for some of those years. They said he cheated, he's like committed fraud of some sort, he's embezzling money. They never had any evidence of this. I've never seen a single person provide one shred of evidence that should suggest to me that anything wrong has happened. Trump is saying, I'm being audited, my legal team has told me not to release the information. I'm okay with that. I really don't care about Trump's taxes. I don't care about how much money he has or has made in the past. It doesn't mean anything to me. What Trump's policies means something. It's like saying, you remember in like the 2012 election, a lot of people were like, well, Mitt Romney is like this really, really rich dude. He's got like 3 homes and a car elevator and stuff. Look, Obama's less wealthy. Like it mattered. No, Obama was wealthy too. He just was less wealthy. He's still a millionaire with a mansion, but, somehow that doesn't matter. And now he's got, much, much more money than he ever got as president, because now he can get $10,000 a plate at a speaking gala for Goldman Sachs. Dude probably cleans up 8 figures a year now. Oh, he's rolling in it. More power to him, by the way. I don't give a fuck. If people value his words that much, and if they want to get what they could get on YouTube for free anyway by watching old Obama speeches, they just want the shine of having Obama there. Who fucking cares? Buy his shitty pineapple and pig roast Hawaiian special for $5,000. Who cares? I don't care how much money Trump has, number one. Number two, the states don't have the authority to do this. It doesn't matter if they pass a bill. If they attempted to enforce it, the Supreme Court would rule it unconstitutional. It's quite clearly a federal power to oversee this particular aspect of our civic system. They're not going to be able to say, well, Trump must release tax returns, because there is no federal rule requiring that disclosure. If they were to be allowed, like let's say the courts inexplicably ruled, yeah, okay, this is okay, you can keep him off your ballots. That would set up a situation where like red states could say, okay, we're going to force presidents we're going to keep them off the ballot if they don't provide like proof of baptism or something. It would legitimately be exactly the fucking same thing. You're asking that the Fourth Amendment fundamentally, by the way, for non-incumbents, for people who aren't in office yet, you're asking that the Fourth Amendment be essentially suspended for anyone seeking a higher office. Did you realize that, correct? The Fourth Amendment fundamentally blocks this anyway. Tax information is not subject to that particular type of involuntary disclosure. It is simply a multi-administration tradition for presidents to release it. And it depends on how much they release. Like Obama and Bush and all these others, they released theirs, and nobody really cared about the fact that they did anyway. And was this ever a big issue until Donald Trump became the president, or rather became the Republican nominee in 2016? Did you ever hear anyone complain about a president's tax returns before in any manner? Oh, this number looks fucky a little bit. They didn't disclose enough years. Oh, they didn't make enough. Ha ha, they're like poor. They disqualifies them or something. Did that ever happen before? Do you remember a time of that happening? No, it's just they typically release that information, but Trump's not required to do it by any law. Other day, Estevel shows me this like thing from Cornell. It's like 100 pages long of law related to tax returns. Like, show me the section, dude. What are you talking about? You should be able to cite the specific section if it has something to do with the president having to release that information. Because if it were required for him to release that information by law, he wouldn't be the president right now, would he? I think somebody would have stepped in and showed them the law. I think Congress would have been made aware of the fact that the Constitution or something was being violated. Never happened. There's no law. It's just an American tradition. Traditions change. It's also a tradition that presidents don't typically mock the dead, but look at John McCain, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care about his finesse. I don't care about his attitude. Anyone who look, there are people that voted for Trump probably that are still pissed off about the fact that he acts the way he does. Why'd you vote for him then? If you wanted to vote for someone to be calm, someone to have a presidential demeanor, what the fuck does that mean? Have you ever heard of Andrew Jackson or Theodore Roosevelt and some of the crazy shit they get up to? Or Lyndon Baines Johnson, if you want a more recent example, or even JFK. JFK had a different model in bed every other week. Second greatest liberal ever after FDR. Yeah, he was a womanizer too. How many thousands of women do you think he slept with in the White House? And I do mean thousands. I don't mean hundreds or dozens. Thousands. He fucked everything that goddamn moved. Most of those people probably ended up getting paid off by the Secret Service. They probably killed Marilyn Monroe because he was mumbling about state secrets while he was sleeping with her. She screwed his brother at the same time and didn't even care. Why do you think all three of them ended up dead? A little conspiracy theory there for you to look into. Trump's not going to be kept off the 2020 ballot. That's a bunch of bullshit. And by the way, would it matter if he was on he's on the ballot in California. Wow, he's got a real good shot at winning that state. It's not going to matter. What you see is the Democrats are becoming the party of the Confederacy again. Really, they've adopted racism. They're obsessed with disarming people. They want isolationism, at least with regards to most world politics. They want to bomb Russia for some reason. No reason at all, really. They have gone back to being like the party of, I don't know what you would call it, plantation mentality after a fashion. Yeah, and they want an agrarian lifestyle, too. We will all be picking cotton if they take over, because there won't be any other crop, I guess, in the United States. We won't be able to have an economy. Industry? Oh, you're not allowed to have that anymore. No more cars, says AOC. I'm going to replace them with horse and buggy or something. Or rather, she would be carried around by a team of shirtless slaves, I'm sure, if she had her way. Don't put it past these people. They're lunatics, some of them. That's about all. Peace out.